Welcome, and welcome to the Heatcast with myself, Sean Ryan. Joining me today on the show is one of the most upcoming artists I know coming from Limerick right now. It's the one, it's the only Joyce. How are you getting on?
I'm doing really, really good. How are you?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. I ask every time on this show, and I say it the same way every time. Joyce, is it just your name, or is there some significance behind it, or what's the story with your name?
Just, it's my birth name. I mean, yeah, that is it. There's actually no story to it. It's just my name.
And you said, look, it's just perfect. Might as well go with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, like there's different, different styles of music out there. There's opera, there's jazz, there's, all different sorts. Why did you pick like rap music to kind of get yourself expressing who you were and kind of everything else?
Well, to be honest, I didn't choose rap. Rap essentially chose me, because again, we listened to it every single day. And then I remember I was doing the Limerick Rose one day, and we had to pick a song to perform, and kind of the theme I wanted to put behind it, for the performance, because we were working with the charity, we were working with Pieta House, and Logic had dropped his song 1-800, and I was like, well, I would love to be able to perform this because I think it has a really, really nice message in it, and it has the singing and the rapping. So I was like, okay, I'll try, because I'm essentially a singer. I go to college in UL, and I study music. So I was like, I'll give the rapping a go on stage. And I remember I performed the whole thing, and I came off the stage, and an elderly woman came up to me, and she was like, now you're a very good singer, but the other thing you were doing, the rap, that was very, very, very good. And I was like, well, if she can kind of like it, and that must mean that I must be some bit good at it. And an awful lot of people came up to me, but just that woman in particular stuck, because we know that the older generation isn't really a fan of like rap and hip hop and that, but she really enjoyed it. So then from then on, I kind of studied rap, and I got into it, and I found that I'm actually quite good lyricist, and I really, really do enjoy the actual art of rapping. So the rest is history then.
And obviously, I get a few people on the show who make their own beats and stuff like that, and they rap on top of them, or they outsource them, or they use YouTube beats. What way do you kind of do it? Do you have your own producer behind the scenes, or do you kind of say, look, this looks class on YouTube, might as well rap on that, make a video, and let's go?
So starting off, I am blessed, present tense, to have an in-home producer. She's my best friend as well, which makes it that bit more easier. And we live together. We met 3 years ago, and we met in college when we were all studying music, and she did provide me with most of my beats starting off, which nobody's ever heard. You haven't heard them yet, they're not released. But she would have, and she does make all my beats, and then I do get some from YouTube for the sake of efficiency and bringing stuff out, and just having a lot of content. But it's a bit of both. I do have an in-house producer, as well as YouTube beats, online beats kind of thing.
And like, obviously being a female and stuff like that, do you think there is many opportunities for kind of females to kind of get themselves in the scene? I know it's mainly male dominated, and it's obviously changing ever so slowly, or whatever way you want to say it. Do you think there is that opportunities for Irish ladies to kind of get into it?
I feel like there is, for the simple fact that nobody's doing it. So the opportunity will always be there. But actually getting into it, I feel like it is quite hard, and hence why no one is kind of doing it. It is quite hard because nobody really takes you serious. Because I could not tell you why. I said because like I knew why, but I don't know why. Nobody really takes you serious as a rapper, as a female, but there is opportunity there if we can just get past that barrier of people. You need support locally in order to be noticed kind of outside.
And kind of like you've started off, you've been working with Bangers Productions, and like the video quality for your music video, or that freestyle, even Queen freestyle, which is, it's something else. What kind of advice would you give to people who are just kind of starting off? Because obviously you're kind of in that kind of state yourself.
Starting up, I would say, and this is a mistake that I made, write as much as you possibly can before you even think of getting it produced, because you can rock up to a studio and find that 5, 6 of your songs they just don't work. And then if you've only written 3 and those 3 don't work, well, where does that leave you? And then you obviously you're paying for studio time, you're paying to get things mixed and mastered, and you just end up wasting your own money. So I would say just write and kind of perfect your craft before you go about getting anything like shot or recorded, because it's a very expensive job.
And like obviously like a big thing with kind of getting yourself out there and promoting yourself, like how do you go about promoting yourself on is it just social media, or do you try and venture everywhere else?
Before Corona, and this Corona's possibly the worst thing to happen to artists ever, I would predominantly promote myself on social media, but I was quite a outside social person. Like I would host kind of events, I would make appearances at events, and just I find that it works better if you essentially tour and let people who know who you are and try and get gigs. Assuming you have kind of music recorded, you can even do covers. One of my favorite bands in the entire world, say Inhaler, I remember they did an awful lot of covers and they still toured, because it's more about getting your name out there, and people love to watch live performances, and then they can follow you on social media. But it's very hard to get noticed on just social media. So before Corona, yeah, I would do like hosting and stuff like that, and that's how I think people kind of got to know me, my little following that I have. But I feel I did get an awful lot of it from interacting outside more than I did on social media.
And like obviously what do you think is missing in the scene right now that like needs to be fit the jigsaw puzzle and make it a whole, like?
Females. No, I just to support local, because I mean, you listen to Travis Scott, but you won't listen to John Down the Road, even though John Down the Road possibly has way better stuff than I don't know what that type of mindset is, but I have noticed it where we'll almost not listen to like local people, and we'll listen to like what's in the charts because it's in the charts. But like I feel like we just need to, and as artists we all need to kind of support each other, because it's hard for us to do it individually. Like we really do need to help each other out in order to make the whole scene grow. That's yeah.
And obviously we're kind of into the second month of 2021. What's kind of your aim to get done this year? Obviously hoping that Corona kind of dies out. What's your kind of plans?
My plan is to gig, perform everywhere and as much as I possibly can. Because like I said, you get more exposure from traveling and performing. It's also what I like to do. Like I did get into music because I loved performing. That was just what I like to do. But for 2021, I would like to have just top tier music videos and performances, and just kind of well thought out, because you've seen my freestyle video. It's just the quality is amazing, but it's just very simple and straightforward. It's like, okay, I'm rapping here, but I want my videos to be more intricate and more cinematic for 2021, assuming Corona is died down and we can actually travel and get models, get dancers, etc., etc., etc.
And do you find it like hard to make or kind of come up with music ideas for songs during COVID?
No, I no. I can find inspiration from the littlest things. Like I could talk about a tree branch falling and make it into this deep song about, I don't know, somebody's heartbreaking, whatever. You know, like that way I would say I'm lucky, or not even lucky. I worked hard enough to kind of get to that kind of stage. Also, I'm still quite young, but I am 21, so I have an awful lot of life experiences already kind of under my belt that I could still write about. So creativity during Corona, no, we're still good at that.
And as you were mentioned, like as I mentioned, kind of your Queen freestyle, and obviously you sent us in a video and we posted it up on our Instagram. And there was a bit of like negative feedback from that. Is it how do you feel after hearing such negative comments from individuals? Or do you think just like they're just being themselves, that's their own opinion? Or do you kind of say, well, if they're telling me there's something wrong, then there must be? What's kind of your approach to kind of negativity?
I sit somewhere in the middle between all that, because there will always be people that will say bad, and that is anything, like anything you do, whether it's modeling, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a doctor, someone will always have something to say about you. So I look at it that way. But then I do take on board what they've said, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could fix this element of that, or maybe I could add this in, or maybe I could do that. Because I mean, they obviously did see something, and on a wide scale, maybe there's 20 other people that think that. So maybe I could fix it, but I wouldn't let it get to me. I remember the first day it actually did quite get to me, and I was like, people think I'm shit, I'm never rapping again. But then I kind of got over myself, and I was like, look, it's two people out of the like what other comments that were like really positive. But then I did take on board some stuff that I could improve on, like, because they had points, you know.
So you kind of took the positive out of the kind of bad statements that were kind of made.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know that you're going to drop some serious heat. Like, obviously, that Queen freestyle was spot on. And even that beat was just something else. But besides yourself, who do you think is going to deliver some serious heat in 21?
I know Jayronic from Cork. Oh, I love him. He always, like, his visuals I find are always insane. He always has the craziest party anthems. Like, he had Liquor that dropped last year, and I swear I had that on repeat for like weeks. It was amazing. I also think Jay Yellow is incredibly, incredibly talented. He's one of the best artists in Ireland, possibly, like, even on a worldwide scale. He's so talented. Yeah, I know. See, I know Jafaris is also in that bracket. He's also will drop some like amazing stuff. Um, uh, and this is just on the rap side before anybody comes for me. I'm just talking the rap side. But yeah, I can see, and I feel like that's just because they are that bit more established. So, you know, they kind of have the budget, they have the connections to be able to drop such amazing projects, you know. But I'm sure there's so many like underground artists or even known artists that are going to drop some amazing stuff. But I would say the ones I named are the ones I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. And I would agree that they're doing their own thing. I know there's a lot of others out there that listen to the show that are doing their own thing. And, you know, I have Skeet from Northern Ireland. He's a talented bloke. You've got LG4 Trey, like I think he's coming out with an EP soon enough as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Hazy Haze is always good as well. Limerick local.
Oh yeah, he dropped something.
Sorry.
Oh, Hazy just dropped something recently, didn't he?
I think so. I'm not too familiar with the actual title and stuff like that, but I think he dropped something recently. I know he dropped Ismisha in back in 2020, the really start of it. I got to see him live performing it, and what a performance it was. That man with Citrus Fresh is just a combo that it's the dream team, really. So we're kind of going to wrap up the show. Is there anything you want to plug yourself to kind of get people promoted and try and support your own channel? What would you like to plug?
Do you know what? I can't even plug anything this moment in time. But what I will say is keep an eye out for March. 110% keep an eye out on my page in March, because you will not want to miss it. I would easily say that it's going to be a good year for Bang Productions and Joyce.
I am looking forward to it, and I hope everyone watching or even listening on Spotify and Mixcloud, like that, they will enjoy it as well, because I know it's going to be fire. You're very talented. You're at the start of your career. I know you're going to kick off. You're going to fucking go to the clouds. I just know it. So yeah, look, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
So amazing. Thank you.
It's no problem at all. And I hope, like, in the future, if you have any albums dropping or any music videos you want to kind of get yourself going, make sure to contact us. No problem supporting you. And to everyone at home, I'll see you in the next one.
So y'all ready? I'm back. Hey. Yes, I am back, bitch. I'm a straight savage. I'm an emergency, leaving no handprints. I am the ghost, the rock, the queen. You bitches fish. Fuck the sardines. If you come for me, then come correct. I pop a bitch. I ain't your friend. All these bitches is my sons, and they niggas in my bag. Shit, I rock it, and I'll never stop it. Everything go by me first. You want my dick like pussy pocket. I'm a boss. I'm a leader. I don't really fuck with cheating. It's not something that I like. What I like is Robert Keaton.